I'm Chris, and I am a tarot reader for Writer's Block. Today I'm going to be comparing two different decks to show you how both can be the same but yet different. So something you should know about my practice is that I have 60 plus decks and I can read with all of them. I don't think that the Rider-Waite-Smith deck can be all that helpful with every single project that a writer is writing. The images are old, and sometimes if you're writing a steampunk story, you need to have something more steampunky to make you feel like you're writing a steampunk story. So I've collected over 60 decks that are witches, vampires, dragons, steampunk, Edgar Allan Poe, horror, all different kinds of decks, so that any writer who comes to me, anime, manga, any writer who comes to me can get more into their story with any tarot reading that I do for them. So today we're going to compare and contrast the cat and the dog cards with the same spread. I shuffled my cat deck and laid out the cards, and I went to the dog deck and I pulled out the cards that the cat's deck pulled out. And this is what we got. We got the King of Pentacles reversed. We've got the Four of Cups. And we've got the King of Cups reversed. Now, the first thing that I'm noticing when I'm looking at these cards is that there are two kings on here, and the court cards are usually the cards that usually represent people. So I know that stories have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and usually it's a character that has to go through some sort of a transition. Because we've got a King of Pentacles and a King of Cups, both reversed, I think this is going to be a very personal story, a very person story, not really a world story like the end of the world type situation. This is going to be, or a collective story. This is going to be something about a very specific person. So with the King of Pentacles reversed is like a daredevil. The pentacles are things that you can touch. They are things that your money, your health, your car, your apartment, the things of the physical world. And they're usually very safe. They usually know their surroundings and that kind of stuff. This one's reversed though. So the King of Pentacles here is probably someone who's a little bit more of a daredevil. There's a little bit of gluttony going on here because he's eating all the time or trying to eat too fast. So there could be that's something there to think about. So the Four of Cups is sometimes said about boredom. It's usually having the individual on the card looking at three cups that are their situation, and then someone offering a new solution or looking for a new solution. And then we've got the King of Cups reversed. Now the King of Cups are about emotions. And the King of Cups reversed could be, now I need to go back and rewind, that a reversed card could be delayed, blocked, internal, or healing. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that this is a daredevil person. So this is outward. Delayed, blocked, I mean, that's delayed, I guess, being the King of Pentacles, blocking safety. And I'm going to go with the King of Cups reversed being internal. Going from a daredevil to someone who's very much so in tune with his emotions. How are they going to get there? I always pull a card that's at the bottom of the deck, and that's just the card that's underneath. So whatever's going to be happening in the middle of the story is probably going to be the meat and potatoes of the story, and how this character will get from A to Z. Now, the Strength card usually has the picture of a woman sitting with a lion, and they're both kind of, having a good time together. She's able to control the inner, the inner animal in her, I guess you could say. So here we've got a cat holding down a mouse. He's not eating the mouse, but he's yawning, that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of like, it's keeping control of your inner animal. So now that we know the basic meanings of the cards, let's see how they're different when we try to tell a cat story versus telling a dog story. So with the cat story being the King of Pentacles reversed, I'm picturing a very active orange cat. I know that we have orange here, but I've learned that orange cats are always kind of feisty. Not even feisty. They're not. They're active. They have a lot of energy. So I'm seeing a King of Pentacles, a kitten, maybe even a kitten that is just bouncing off the walls left and right, not knowing what is what, and just being crazy. So then in the middle of the story, we've got the orange cat. We're gonna keep using the orange cat, but and also we end with an orange cat, so that's kind of nice. So we're gonna go with, this is a boredom one, or sort of bored, but there's something he gets bored about. There's, like, maybe he needs a new playmate or something. Maybe he's bored playing by himself, and maybe he needs to look for someone new to play with. Now, the King of Cups is reversed, and this is him finally being able to, him or her, finally being able to control his wild and crazy emotions. And now he's able to, it's an inner calmness. He has strength, and he's grown up. He's learned how to be calm with his emotions, and keep them a little bit more under wraps. So essentially, I'm seeing a house cat, a very active house cat, needing to find the strength to keep his emotions in check. Now let's go to the dogs. So we've got this dog who's outside, and he is also, again, not very sturdy, so he's probably running around doing crazy things as well. But maybe he goes to the beach, and he's just, like, that's very interesting. See how, like, usually this character would have 3 bowls in front of him, and this mermaid or person is holding out 1 bowl, but this one's different. Like, very much so different than this one. So I think that maybe this dog is always doing the same daredevilish thing, the same active thing, and that's what this represents. And so maybe there's, like, a lot of boredom. He's not bored, I don't think. I think he's very comfortable with his schedule. And maybe he needs to spice some things up and do something to change things. So now with the King of Cups reversed here, I'm probably going to go healing with him this time. And here's why. Because here's the strength card that we've discussed about. And like calming your inner monster, your inner animal. We've got an older dog here who is very calm with an orange cat biting on his tail. He's being very patient, and he's not nipping at him or anything like that, letting him do his thing. So what I kind of think is that the cat is going to be representative of these 3 cups. 3 different things that he could do to spice up his life. And that's where the healing aspect is going to come in of his emotions. He's probably going to be able to heal some emotions, learn something more about himself, and that kind of a thing is what I would think. That's where I would go. Now, if you see something different in the cards, that is completely okay. This was just an example. I just pulled cards, and this is kind of like my first look at them, so I didn't even really have a question or a block. But we can see how different these are. These tell 2 completely different stories. This is an internal house cat. This is a house cat being fed by a human, being a pet. This is a dog that's outside. He's an outdoor man. He is outdoors. He is living on his own. Maybe he's on the streets, that kind of a thing. So that's just one example, and I have plenty of other decks. So if you want me to do this again with a different deck, let me know. Give me a follow if you want to learn more about how to use Tarot for Writer's Block, and I will leave it at that.